everyone. I am on a roll, so I just recorded another video right away. I wanted to talk about my postpartum journey with you, and I do feel that postpartum, so the time after giving birth, is a really special time, and it is a real journey. Now, some of you might have read Faye's birth story on the blog. I shared it, and I hope that it inspires a few people and makes the experience less scary. We had a very beautiful natural birth, and I think that those stories need to be told as well to, you know, counteract all these really terrible horror stories that people tell about birth. We had a good birth, but even with, or maybe especially with, a natural birth, there is still a lot of healing to do. My body, of course, it was exhausted. It was like running a marathon. But at the same time, I didn't have any intervention, didn't have to take any medications or anything like that. So my body was just doing a really beautiful job in supplying all these hormones to, you know, naturally offer pain relief, which is what they do. And they made me feel really high and happy. After her little Faye was kind of just coming out and being born, I just felt so exhilarated. I wanted to shout from the rooftops and tell everyone, you know what I just did? I made a human. I'm really, really happy and excited, and so grateful as well for, you know, having such a beautiful birth that didn't require any interventions, and to have a happy and healthy baby. So what were the things that helped me feeling good and get back on track after the birth? I think rest is the most important thing in the postpartum journey. So having people that support you, and hopefully that can be your partner and your closest family. Dave was as well when we had the little one and she was just born. He had all this good skin to skin contact with her and was bonding with her, so he was a fantastic support in the early days. And we had people, especially friends, bringing over really yummy food and healthy food. And I think that's especially important during that time, is to eat very well. And of course you might not feel like spending lots of hours in the kitchen, so if you do have a big freezer, cook up front and prepare kind of soups or casseroles, any dishes like that that you can freeze and warm up. That's what people advised me to do, but we have a tiny freezer, so I couldn't do that. So David did a fabulous job in preparing really simple but really healthy meals. So he did lots of just steamed vegetables with steamed tofu and soups that are just really quite easy to do. But we also had good friends delivering things, and we had beautiful curries brought to us and apple cake and all sorts of food. I still always had my green smoothie for breakfast. I skipped caffeine. I didn't want that effect of, you know, being hyper and then crashing down. So I think if you avoid caffeine and sugar and all these kind of stimulants, that's really important too, so your body can just really do its work. I also think it's very important to keep taking your prenatal vitamins. My favorite ones, and I link them in all my pregnancy posts, but it's the My Kind organic prenatals. It's a whole food based, all organic vitamins. So on top of that, I've always been taking my vitamin B12 spray, which is good for everyone, especially important if you're vegan. And I think B12 is generally really good to take a little bit of extra in times of high demand. And then another really important thing that I took through the whole pregnancy, so again, I've mentioned it before in my pregnancy posts, but I continue to take this, and it's the Inner Health Pregnancy and Breastfeeding Probiotic. So it really makes sure that your digestion keeps on track and your gut keeps really, really healthy. It helps to prevent any sort of eczema or allergies, skin problems in your baby. So if you watch this while you're still pregnant, get onto it and take it early. As long as you're breastfeeding, it's very good to take those extra probiotics. I think they've helped me a lot. They also studies that show that it's easier to lose any pregnancy weight when you take probiotics. It's not the reason I took them, but that's maybe another good benefit, and it will help, you know, your skin, your overall health as well. I think it's really important to have a really good mindset during that time, and just don't have any plans, and don't just allow you to have all this time off in those early weeks. Whee! Faye's clearing up the table. Really important to make sure that you have all that time for healing. In a lot of old cultures, the yogis in most Asian countries, they do say that to not leave the house basically for 40 days after birth, and the mum and the baby just stay at home and have this time of just healing and bonding and not going anywhere. And I do think that's a very beautiful idea. Now 40 days would have actually been a little bit much for me personally. I thought I'll take it as it comes, and I really loved the idea, but I felt that I did need to leave the house ever so often, but not to run errands or anything. We just took little walks outside and went to the park and soaked up some sun, and I think that was just really beautiful. I really enjoyed those times. Oh guys, I did that video and I keep forgetting to mention any of the other tips of what really helped us in our postpartum journey. Get yourself some silverette nipple covers. I can't show you because I just gave them to a friend who is about to give birth, so I don't have them anymore. But that's the other beautiful thing, you can pass them on because they're going to last forever. What they are, they're little discs like this big, and they are made from sterling silver, made in Italy, and you press a little drop of breast milk into them, like little cups, and then you put them onto your nipples, and they kind of stick there with the little drop of breast milk, and they're very healing. So I only use them for a very short time after birth, but it's that time where breastfeeding might be kind of challenging and it hurts a little bit at the start usually. So I did get a little bit of soreness, and I had like minor little bleeding for like a day or two. It was nothing major. I was really lucky. It was really good, but it did get sore. And having those on, I put them on in the morning, and by midday it was healed. I'm not kidding, it's amazing. Again, I'm not affiliated with them or anything. I don't even have the product here to show you anymore, but get yourself those nipple covers, or ask a friend if they can borrow them, and then you can still give them on to someone afterwards. It's amazing. And the other benefit of that is that you the other benefit is that you won't need to use any kind of balm on your nipples, so your baby doesn't actually suckle anything off your nipples that way. So which I prefer, because even the natural nipple balms, I don't really want her to ingest any of that stuff I put on my nipples, so I didn't use any creams. I just used the silverette cups, and they are amazing. So get yourself those silverette cups. Exercise postpartum, it's another important one. I think there's a lot of super unnecessary pressure on women to what people call bounce back. To be honest, now at the time that I'm recording this, Faye is 5.5 months, and I feel fit and I feel strong, and I feel that my body is pretty much the same than before pregnancy. And actually, for posture, I find the breastfeeding that does take a toll on my posture, and carrying little Faye around so much in the sling is not really great for my posture. I'll need to stretch out and do gentle yoga and things like that. But I do find that, especially if you're breastfeeding, your stomach is getting flat again. It just naturally helps to contract the muscle. I started doing little postpartum exercise about 8 weeks probably. I think the first things I did was 8 weeks postpartum, and they were very gentle exercises to activate the stomach muscles. And it was a little program of Sarah Haley, like an online classes thing that I paid for and downloaded and did little videos here, and they were great because they were very short. So Faye was just lying on the floor playing, and you know, I didn't always finish them because sometimes she just needed my attention earlier and she would just last 15 or 20 minutes. And we started doing a little yoga routine in the morning, which we're still doing now, where now Faye is really happy to play, usually for half an hour, and we can get through a whole half an hour yoga session, which yeah, makes me feel amazing. One more thing I forgot to say is when I came first home from the hospital, I really enjoyed using coconut oil in the shower all over my body, so it helped really regenerating the skin. But I also knew that if I use it around my boobs and the little one would suckle on them, that it wasn't anything toxic and nothing smelling. And I also used a completely fragrance-free shower gel. It's the shower gel I can link it up again. It's in my favorite body product video, and same with the coconut oil that I used in the shower all over my body. And it was good because I didn't need to use a moisturizer afterwards, because I had very limited time for showers in those early days. So that's a really high tip. So use coconut oil in the shower, but not use anything that is fragranced, because it will the baby will not like it. Basically the baby likes yours. Breastfeeding pillow. I had this thing. It's big and not really pretty, but a friend gave it to me. She lent it to me. She's experienced. She has 2 girls already, and it was a lifesaver. Get yourself a breastfeeding pillow. This one is really good. It's called My Breast Friend. You tie it around your waist though, and it just helps with support and sitting up properly, because I was in so much pain with my neck and shoulders in the early days with the constant feeding and trying to sit up. So to have this and have little Faye lying on this pillow as a support was just so good. It was so helpful. And she slept on there on my lap as well until very recently, and just always had this nice firm support. It's like a little mattress for them. So get yourself a good breastfeeding pillow. Here's a belly bandit or belly wrap, whatever you want to call it, and I won't undo it now because it has Velcro and it's very loud and I don't want to wake the little one. But it's basically this really long wrappy thing, and you tie it around your waist, and it holds your belly in to kind of, you know, help the muscle come back together and heal. The body will heal everything quicker back together, and the warmth of having that wrap as well will increase circulation and speed up the healing. So I brought that to me with me right after birth, and I don't know, a few hours after I did put it on, and I wore that not religiously. I think you're supposed to wear it day and night. I didn't do that. I wore it during the day, and sometimes, to be honest, it really bothered me too, because it came up high under my breast and I was hunching over trying to breastfeed, and if it bothered me I took it off. So I only wore it I don't know, half a day, but every day. I really enjoyed wearing it during that time. I say that now my belly is really flat and heals very well, but again, I don't know if it would have been different without the thing. But that was one thing that I enjoyed using. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Little Faye is getting a little bit tired, so I'm gonna pop her down for a nap. And I remember this one day in my postpartum journey where it was just buggered. I think, yeah, it was one of those days where it just felt challenging. I was tired and I was just buggered, and Dave said, what can I do to make you feel better? And I'm not someone that usually uses food as like a reward or anything like that, but I just wanted caramel slice. So it's a raw or vegan caramel slice he got for me, and it was just the best treat ever. We shared it, and it just at that moment made me feel so much better. So by all means, if there is something that really is a complete comfort food for you that makes you really happy, try to find a very like a plant-based, healthy, sugar-free version of it, because there's, like, if you crave ice cream, there's so much good ice cream from cashew nuts or almond or something like that that doesn't have sugar, but it's just as creamy and delicious, and it will really fulfill all your needs. Or like, you know, like a beautiful raw cake or something. So you still get all that extra nutrition, and you don't have the empty calories, but you get that really comforting sensation that you maybe just need as a young mom. Pets! Did I mention pets? You will need lots and lots of maternity pads and some big black undies, because there will be some bleeding afterwards. So get yourself some big black undies and lots and lots and lots of pads. So one of the things I really enjoyed instead of my daily coffee in the morning was, I kind of ordered this in bulk. It's a Byron chai, Dandy chai, but there are so many brands doing them. And the beautiful thing is it's just as comforting as coffee, and it has the same sort of bitterness, and you have it with milk. So I have mine with a creamy soy milk, or you can use almond milk, whatever you prefer. Of course you can have coffee. Do keep in mind though that the caffeine does transfer into your breast milk. It's just a small percentage that goes into your breast milk, but your baby's little system and little liver is very immature, of course. So for a newborn to process caffeine, it takes a long time, even just a small amount. So it's up to you. If it's something that makes you feel good, of course, by all means drink your coffee. I decided that I didn't want her little liver to have to do all this extra hard work while she has to grow and do all other things. I really enjoyed the Dandy chai. The thing as well, it's not just a random coffee replacement, it's really detoxifying. You know, clear your body of excess hormones, and it helps detoxify your liver, so it actually is good for the liver. Another thing I really enjoyed was using like really nice comforting aromatherapy. My favorite things was this bottle, Circle of Protection, and I used it in my 3rd trimester already. It's a really beautiful body oil that gives you really this cocooning kind of safe feeling. I just love the smell, but it's also full of very good quality oils that really help the body kind of, you know, heal the skin and keep it elastic and all of that. So I really enjoyed that. There's just so much pressure, I find really unnecessary pressure on women who do amazing things. I mean, our bodies grow these babies and give birth to them, and then all of a sudden it's expected that you just look like you never had a baby, and I find that's absolutely stupid. I was just in such awe about what my body can do, and I found a whole new love and respect and gratitude for my body after I gave birth. And I really just wanted to walk around and you know, shout from the rooftops, hey, you know what I just did? My body just made a baby. And I think everyone should feel that way, no matter what size, or, you know, if you have scarring or stretch marks or whatnot, who cares? You made this amazing baby, this new human. You'll be one beautiful glowing mama, and you deserve rest and appreciation for what you did. And the rest will come in its own time, and you'll get fit and healthy if your body allows to heal.